When man started life on earth, nature gifted him everything. The sun shone and his crops bloomed. The forest flourished. The river powered his mill to grind the grain. Wood was abundant to cook his food, and the wind moved his ship. Several thousand years later, the human race is on a path of rediscovering nature in its desperate bid to save a fevered planet. India started on its mission of renewal in the early 70s. Today, it is one of the world's largest renewable energy programs that sweeps across remote villages, bustling metros, and huge industries. This story marks the milestones of India's journey on the path of alternatives. When Kesar Singh returned to his hill village in Uttarakhand, after completing his service in the army, he knew he had to get used to a new life. True to his spirit of enterprise, Kesar Singh revived his family's ancient watermill that was in disuse for years. The villagers were happy to get a grinding mill close by, and Kesar found a new means of income. But it didn't end here. Ingenuity struck again, and Kesar Singh improvised the design of his traditional watermill. He put in place a new water wheel and connected it to a small generator. What followed was a miracle for the village. The watermill started generating electricity. Even with a tiny capacity of 2 kilowatts, the watermill lit up 21 homes in the village of Baret and ended long years of darkness. Kesar Singh is now in search of a new vocation, but his guiding philosophy remains the same. Never ignore tradition and never deny new wisdom. Much like Baret, the advent of electricity in Liti village was a wondrous moment. Hidden in the mountain ranges of Uttarakhand, the village is too remote to be connected to a grid. While the world surged ahead with technology, villagers here used oil lamps to fight darkness. In 1999, the government set up a 50 kilowatt micro hydro project in the village. Electricity was generated from the river flowing down the valley. And then, a new chapter began in the lives of the villagers of Liti. Now, every evening, as the sun dips into the night, the village comes alive. Inside homes, over a dozen channels beam through satellite TV, and the big, distant world beyond the village feels closer home. Studying by the light of an electric bulb is a new experience for the children. And as for the women, their days of cooking in the dark are over.
जब सुबह हम 4 बजे उठते थे ना, बहुत ही अंधेरा रहता था, तो डर लगती थी, हर काम झिझक के होता था, अधूरा रह जाता था ना घर का काम। उस समय तो आधे आंसू भी आ जाते थे, कहते क्या करें क्या ना करें। अब लाइट आने से ऐसा हुआ कि मतलब हर काम में हमें सुविधा आ जाती है। मतलब कोई भी काम करे, चाहे पानी भरने के लिए जाए, अब गौशाला में भैंस बांधने के लिए दूध निकाल, वहाँ भी लाइट जला दी।
Electricity has also brought new pride. Across many villages of Uttarakhand, local communities are being empowered by the government to manage their own powerhouse. Village energy committees are being involved in planning, operation and maintenance of micro-hydro plants. They are even authorized to fix tariffs and collect payments from consumers. The villagers value the freedom given to them to run their own affairs. If Liti is getting used to the new joys of electricity, Ramgarh, another village powered by a micro-hydro plant, has moved a step ahead. The local officials motivated the villagers here to install meters. Electricity was priced at 2 rupees per unit. Consumption of power dropped instantly, and 100 new houses were lit up. But there was still more to come. Now, during the day, when the village uses minimal electricity, it has started selling the surplus to the local grid. The village energy committee earns a good income, which it uses for maintaining the powerhouse. Small hydropower is passing through an exciting phase of development in India. Over 4,000 sites have been identified across the country with the potential of producing nearly 10,000 megawatts of power. This energy will light up remote villages, power small industries and even strengthen the grid. And when this happens, small will not only be beautiful but clean and green too. It's a short voyage that separates the distinct worlds of Kolkata and the Sunderbans. Situated on the easternmost coast of India, the Sunderbans are a group of over 100 islands, home to the world's largest mangrove forest. Extending transmission lines through this web of rivers and swamps is a difficult and at times an impossible task. To the urban eye, the Sunderbans enfold pristine beauty, but for the locals, it's a tough life. In large parts here, electricity is still a distant dream. But change is underway. It started a decade ago, when the government set up the country's largest biomass gasifier power plant of 500 kilowatts in Gosaba Island. The gasifier is a technology that uses biomass instead of fossil fuels to generate power. In Sunderbans, the surrounding forests provided enough biomass. But when the gasifier first brought power to Gosaba, there were few takers.
Many people told me you have just misused government money, why it is like that, only 20 consumers. But I told them, look, off-grid power demand, it is not like grid area, it is a totally different area. So we have to wait and we have to generate the confidence of the people. So after that I found that all the, gradually shops, people they started building, setting up of shops, commercial activities, and within 1 year time, 1997 to 98, the Gosaba, there were 200 consumers.
Powered by the gasifier, Gosaba has leaped light years ahead in a decade's time. Today it has over 1,200 consumers who are buying power at nearly 6 to 8 rupees per unit. Its bustling market is a telling sign of growth and enterprise. At the government hospital, Dr. Girindranath Mandal says he has never felt more confident in his career of 22 years. For years, he treated patients under the light of a kerosene lamp. Now, with electricity, he can stock life-saving vaccines. He is happy to see how this has improved child and maternal health in the surrounding villages. In the sphere of education as well, Gosaba has emerged a top ranker. It has a large number of primary and secondary schools spread across the villages of the island. Thousands of children from neighboring areas come here every year to pursue their dream of education.
In a totality, there is a developmental stride, not only in educational sphere, not only in the sphere of medicine or the health facility. Even the people can grow, people can groom.
Aspirations to progress further and faster continue to grow. Demand for electricity has shot up way beyond the means of the gasifier. As the people of Gosaba earnestly wait for more power, the good news is that they are soon to get another gasifier. The villagers of Moshuni had never imagined that someday the sun would light up even their nights. When the island got in place a solar mini-grid, villagers didn't know what to expect. Along the solar power plant was installed a small gasifier. This set the stage to electrify Moshuni through a combination of biomass and solar power. Soon after the first few homes were lit up from the hybrid plant, power lines spread through the island like a web. Every evening, the village gets power for 5 hours. Close to 5,000 homes and shops are using electricity. Moshuni's nights have magically turned into day. Over 900 families that are outside the coverage of the mini-grid are using solar home lighting systems. This standalone device generates power to run simple appliances like lights, fans and TV sets. The demand for solar energy in Sunderbans has grown steadily in the last few years. Local dealers like Tarun Mandal are reaping the benefits. 10 years ago, he went around the village trying to sell solar products at every doorstep. Today, the customers queue at his shop. His annual turnover is now close to ₹1 million, and Tarun is more than happy. Electricity has triggered an enthusiastic people's movement in the Sunderbans. Energy cooperatives formed by the villagers oversee the distribution of power in the village and even collect revenues. The government hopes to continue the drive in many other unlit islands of the Sunderbans.
Gradually, we have covered almost 1 lakh families, which is the, I should say, I have traveled throughout the world, an off-grid, renewable energy hub if you want to find out in the whole world, Sundarban is that.
India has the world's largest deployment of solar photovoltaic systems. Solar lanterns, home lighting systems and street lights. Many such products are making rural lives a wee bit easier. Solar energy will play a significant role in achieving the government's target of electrifying all unlit homes across the country by 2012. India is also emerging as a manufacturing hub for the photovoltaic industry.
Solar holds tremendous promise that in next 10 to 15 years can deliver electricity which can compete with grid connected electricity. So a lot of venture capitalists are talking where they could invest, a safe investment to park their money. And within solar they are also looking both at the current technology and the futuristic technologies like thin film solar cells and nanotechnology and things like that. So a lot of investors want to invest and they are knocking at the doors.
But if you thought that alternative energy has found space only in the remote hinterland of the country, think again. Welcome to the Garden City of India, the thriving hub of IT industry, Bangalore. Happy sunshine is nature's gift to this city, and so people have brought it right into their homes. Bangalore dominates 50% of the country's market for solar water heaters. In the late 90s, Karnataka became one of the first states to offer rebate in electricity bills to domestic consumers who used solar water heaters. Ever since, the solar revolution in Bangalore has moved from strength to strength. When the government roped in banks to finance solar water heaters through low interest loans, it turned out to be a winning stroke. Encouraged by the incentives, residents like Mr. Krishnaswamy shifted from an electric geyser to the solar heater. When his electricity bill dropped almost by half, he knew that this was a win-win situation.
I feel that all the houses, they construct new house or the present house, both they should switch over to this system. We have got a lot of advantage in that one. That is, you get your energy bill is zero. You need not pay anything for that one. And your only investment cost what you do earlier, with your savings you will get back that amount also. And your maintenance for this solar system also very less.
Homes, hotels, hospitals or restaurants, solar water heaters are sitting almost on every rooftop of Bangalore. In a few years, the number of manufacturers in the city has soared from 6 to 60. The city saves around 300 megawatts every day during the morning peak hours. Across the country, many big cities are being drawn in to join the solar water heater movement. As electricity becomes more and more elusive for urban India, it may discover an answer in the sun's energy. It is celebrated as God's own country for its immense natural beauty. Kerala's rubber plantations are an integral part of its landscape. The state accounts for around 95% of the country's rubber production. Recently, the rubber industry in Kerala struggled to move ahead. Rising prices of electricity and diesel made the manufacturing process very expensive. As a result, most units ended up with shrinking profits. In 2001, this industry found a solution in the Biomass Gasifier. This technology converted biomass like wood or agricultural waste into a clean, combustible gas that could be used for any thermal application, even for those which need temperatures as high as 1000 degrees Celsius. A few hesitant entrepreneurs came forward to adopt the technology. It turned out to be the best decision that they had made in the business.
1 litre of diesel costing around 37 rupees, 36 rupees. That can be replaced at around 7 rupees, which is not possible with any other form of energy other than a gasifier. Whether it be natural gas, coal, no, nothing can substitute it like the way the gasifier can substitute it.
Besides the rubber units in Kerala, the gasifier is turning around the fortunes of many other small-scale industries. In Bangalore, silk dyeing units that were gradually shutting down, unable to cope with high electricity prices, switched over to the gasifier. Their profits have improved and business is back on track. In Morbi in Gujarat, the bustling tile capital of India, these massive gasifiers are fueling an entire ceramic cluster by using charcoal.
मेरे को नहीं, सब भी पूरी मोरबी वाले को फायदा हो गया और हमारा सबका उद्योग आगे बढ़ा गैसी प्लांट की वजह से। भीतर हम ये बाजार में केरोसिन की वजह से हम टक नहीं सकता था।
Today, India is a world leader in the development and application of biomass gasifiers. For the country's small-scale industries that are one of the largest consumers of energy, the gasifiers bring new hope of prosperity. But that's not all. With biomass replacing fossil fuels, gasifiers are also helping reduce pollution. To that end, they bring good news even for the environment. When Tulsi Tanti inherited his family's textile business in his early 20s, he nurtured big dreams. He was committed to taking it to newer heights. But things did not happen as planned. Rising power bills and endless power cuts cramped his business. With survival at stake, Tanti commissioned 2 windmills to supply electricity to his factory in Gujarat. Little did he know what was to come. He had stumbled onto a business opportunity that was literally blowing in the wind. A decade later, Tanti's Suzlon is one of the world's leading wind energy companies, recognized for its expertise in research, development and manufacture of wind turbines. Its success is an important milestone in India's rise to eminence on the world wind energy map. In 2006, India overtook Denmark to become the world's 4th largest producer of wind energy. Coming up in a small town called Dhule in Maharashtra is a remarkable feat, one of the world's biggest wind farms that will generate 1,000 megawatts of power. The windmills here are an outstanding example from India's emerging story in the field of manufacturing. Indian companies are producing modern wind turbines and related components indigenously. They are even setting up farms in countries as diverse as China, Australia and the US. On the home turf, wind energy owes its success to the government's zeal to make it an attractive investment opportunity. A slew of concessions set the ball rolling and wind energy flew into the corridors of corporate India. When Bajaj Auto, India's leading auto giant, invested in setting up their own wind farms, it was virtually stepping into untested waters. Today, the company meets 90% of its power requirements from its own wind farms. With small operational expenses and zero fuel bills, power is generated at a minuscule cost. In a state like Maharashtra, where industry is constantly grappling with rising electricity prices, Bajaj Auto remains unfazed because it knows that the wind will continue to blow.
There are two things that happened at least when we made investments. One were the fiscal benefits. Second was, I think the government machinery was all geared towards making it happen, making it a success, helping out industry. We made sure that the investment would be fully utilized internally. And that is, I think that was a good call at that time. We've benefited tremendously from this.
While some corporates are using wind energy themselves, many others are selling power to electric utilities.
So India is growing much faster than the global market, you can say, like some of the other emerging markets also. And the potential is huge. We have identified potential of 45,000 megawatts in the country, and a small percentage of that, about 6,000 or so, is only captured today. So there is a huge untapped potential that exists. So with all these factors, we see India continue to grow at a relatively much faster and higher than the global market average also.
Spanning over 3 decades, India's renewable energy program has come a long way. It has been a catalyst of change for many people in rural India who lived without access to modern energy. This journey is dotted with many victories, big and small. Renewables have sparkled in every sphere, be it innovation, technology or markets. Businesses too are discovering a clean, profitable way ahead. Today, when India is at the threshold of a new era of progress, this is a happy reason to believe that she will stride ahead with a green heart.